Today I'm going to be talking about the 2017 revival of Twin Peaks that's currently running on Showtime. At the time in which this video was made, only the first 4 episodes are available, so my thoughts and opinions on the series may not ring true for the rest of its run. I'm also going to be avoiding spoilers for the entire series, and I request that you do the same in the comments section. Thank you in advance should you comply with this. Twin Peaks is arguably my favorite TV show of all time. With the show back on its legs after some 20+ years away, I was worried about how it would turn out. But after watching it these past 2 days, I think other franchises should take a look at what it's doing right. There are a lot of reboots and revivals going on right now, and these shows have all been running into the same sets of problems. The issue of whether or not they should be trying to break new ground or exist as a victory lap for a show that's clearly past its prime. Should the X-Files stick to what they know works, or should they explore new territory and potentially ruin easy ratings in search of something better? Should Fuller House stick to the saccharine stylings of the 90s sitcom, or should it come back as a story more akin to Weeds and Californication? The decisions presented to these shows is hardly an easy one. And with Twin Peaks, I find that this issue is magnified tenfold. The original run of the program was really that good. But Twin Peaks was much more than its revived contemporaries. It combined different genres and was spearheaded by a man who's hardly interested in the ratings his child produces.
Brilliant! I have absolutely no idea what's going on.
Simply put, David Lynch doesn't care how Twin Peaks does, which is exactly why I think he's handled this revival so well. After finishing the latest episode, I scrolled through the Twin Peaks subreddit and Facebook page. Despite an astounding amount of praise for the episodes, I'd occasionally stumble upon a comment lamenting the show's heavy tone, wishing things had remained as light as moments in the original. Suddenly, Twin Peaks was taking itself too seriously for some of its fans. Which is fine. These individuals are allowed to have the opinion of the show that they have, but it got me thinking about how impossible it would be for Twin Peaks to please its entire viewership. The original show, avoiding spoilers, ended on such a huge cliffhanger that the only logical way to start the new run of episodes was to really hit the ground running. And with Lynch attached to the project as closely as he was, that meant using every trick in the book to remind fans of who himself and Twin Peaks really were. David Lynch clearly cares about the series. He transparently loves the cast, their characters, and he wants to see them succeed. In wanting for this to happen, he understands that he's gonna have to alienate the more casual onlookers, which is exactly why the new Twin Peaks works. This isn't just a labor of love for himself, but a labor of love for fans of Twin Peaks, the rest of his cinematic overture, and for fans of more oblique storytelling.
There have been no calls today.
In the Nostalgia Critic's hilarious review of Suicide Squad, he makes a joke that production companies doing things, quote, for the fans, unquote, is just a cover-up for laziness. I think the joke's extremely accurate, but it's also not always the case. With Twin Peaks, Lynch definitely made something for his fan base, but he also put in the legwork doing so. He was very deliberate with how he was dishing out the fan service because he wanted to make sure it would enhance the story he was trying to tell. He's the master of slipping in seemingly impulsive cuts that wouldn't add up to anything under a different director, but are vital to the way he crafts a narrative. Perhaps the reason Twin Peaks hasn't yet returned to the cozier territory pop culture loves it for isn't because of pretentiousness or an unwillingness to do so. It could simply be that the timing isn't right yet. I think that in the coming weeks, the show will slowly transition back to its former style, as threads begin to weave together and the story starts to ramp up. We just have to be patient. This is David Lynch we're talking about, the master of taking his time. Networks and studios should take a good long look at Twin Peaks because it's never been a show that's concerned with appeasing its audience. It doesn't care if you've waited a quarter of a century for answers. It's going to make you wait because when you finally get the answers you're seeking, it's going to be worth every second of it. To me, pandering is one of the worst things in both film and television. It's the reason Marvel movies are only all right to me. The reason I can't stand nerd culture despite being a massive nerd myself. If it makes me a hipster to enjoy something for its own merits and not because it's the result of research and statistics, consider my skin flannel and my blood overpriced coffee. I love Twin Peaks because it follows its own muse, and that's something that a lot of media really needs to start doing. Well guys, that's everything for today.
If you agreed or disagreed with me, why not let me know in the comments section. Also, if you've seen the 3rd season of Twin Peaks, love to know what you think. With that, goodbye. You know what, actually, while I have your time, thank you so much for 400 subscribers. I wasn't expecting this channel to get this big that fast, so I'm really thankful for that. Cheers. And while I still have your time, I just, you know, lately I graduated college, and I do apologize for the delay in making videos. I've been busy with graduation, and I've also been working on some stuff for my other channel, New Wave. There's a link to it somewhere. I think it'll be in the description. All right, bye.